Hey guys, I just wanted to finish up the political map. Just make sure you're all on the same page with this before we get started on our physical map. So, a couple things. Here's my mostly completed map. There are a couple more things that I'm going to add here, and I really want to show them to you and make sure you understand. First of all, if you did not go ahead and look at both the videos for day 2. There were 2 videos. Okay, there's one video getting started and one video with just finishing up some of these things. So let me just show you the other things that should be on here. Next to me I'm pulling up the rubric, and I'm just kind of looking at it and making sure that I'm not giving you any information that you don't need, or making sure I'm giving you all the information you do need. Okay, so for a 5-6, you have a couple things that it's telling you that you're going to get graded on. The biggest things you're going to get graded on are the lettering styles, which is making sure your country names are in all capital letters, and your city names all start with a capital, city names and capital city names. Okay. You're also going to get graded on making sure that you have a title, compass, and key. So making sure that you have all of those things, title, compass, and key, that's part of your grade there. Okay, and they should be accurate, so make sure that your northeast, southwest is accurate. Make sure that this says political map and it's colored like a political map, okay, not physical map. Make sure your key has a dot means a city, a star means a capital. All those things need to be accurate, or that won't help you. And then really just showing that you have the color and the water laid out, okay, so your countries should each be a different color, and that you have your water colored. Now, I could have made both these countries the same color, because they don't touch each other. Or both these countries the same color. I chose all different because there was only 4, but if you have like 10 countries and you don't have 10 colors, just make sure that no 2 touching each other are the same, and otherwise you could probably get by with just 2 or 3 colors. Okay, it's all going to matter on how you lay it out. So don't stress about everyone being a different color so long as they don't touch each other that they're the same color. I colored these islands blue because they are part of Captain America, this country down here. Okay, and the last little thing I kind of started to do here was I started going back with a black, and I was going to just draw all my borders in black. I might rewrite my names in black just to make it a little more clear. Is that going to be part of your grade? Not necessarily. When I look at it and I'm determining, did you get a 5 or a 6, or did you get a 7 or an 8? The ones that look neater, look nicer, those grades are really going to just be a little fluctuation there on which ones I can really easily understand and really see those things more easily. So you might want to go back through and just trace things in black if you want to for you. I don't think that I would have to or anything, but if it would make things easier to see, if my line was a little light, then I might need to. So I just kind of started doing that and just kind of tracing over my lines in black. Certainly not something that is required by any means, but the neatness of it and the nicest of it is what is going to add to just the presentation of it and just making it look the best. So that's that. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and trace my whole thing with you, but I just wanted to show you that that is an option I've seen students do in the past. Definitely, certainly not required. Okay. If you're going for a 7-8, I would also recommend labeling all the pieces of your compass here, so labeling your intermediate directions as well. Okay, and yeah, the other couple things that I'd add to here, because when we talked about political maps and physical maps and what they have the same, there's a few more things I'd put on here. I would name this ocean. You can put it in a current ocean. I could write Pacific Ocean on here. Okay, or you could give it a new ocean. I think I'm going to give it a new ocean name, and I'm going to do the Avengers Ocean, because I kind of named all mine after Avengers. So I'm going to do the Avengers Ocean, and typically ocean names are written in all capital letters, just like country names. So, Avengers. Okay. And the only other thing that I put on here would be my rivers, lakes, any of those kinds of things. I think I'm going to wait on that until I make my other map, and I make my physical map, which we'll do here in just a minute. But I think that I really want to have them make sense, and I don't want to have a river that flows from the ocean to up a mountain or something like that. So I'm not going to worry too much about those right now, but I just want to make sure that those make sense when I do them, okay? I think that's really all the things that your political map needs, okay? And let's get into our physical map now. So, hopefully you have an identical copy. The only thing different is one says political and one says physical. Other than that, this is a perfect trace. I have my compass in the same place, and I am going to put a key in the same place. For me, I'm going to trace it because I know mine can be the same size. You might have done a really small key, and that's fine, but I know mine can be the same size, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to trace mine. I just have I don't need a note card because I'm just tracing it. So I'll get this pencil here. Oops, my papers aren't aligned.
Teachers, please excuse the interruption. Today's math break could not happen behind the school. Please bring your kids out front or to different parts, but not out back. Thank you.
Alright, sorry about that announcement right there. Didn't know that was going to come on while I was making my recording. But I'm trying to get these nice and neat and straight. Oh, my pencil just broke. It's okay, I'll flip it and use it for now. Alright. And I'm just going to copy this keyword here. Alright, those match pretty good. Not 100%, but that's okay, they're just in the same spot. It's important to have some things like that, like I talked about last time, your compass and key and title all in the same spot, because if you're looking at two maps next to each other and you find the compass on one, you can easily know where it's going to be on the other one, because you already know where to look, okay? Alright, so in this key, on physical maps, we have color showing elevation, okay? Showing how tall things are, how high above sea level things are, okay? Now, you have two options for this, and this is kind of going to be your difference between a 5-6 and a 7-8, okay? If you're going for a 7-8, you want to have 5 different levels of color here, okay? If you're going for a 5-6, you only need 3 levels of color. I'm going to show a 5-6, so I'm going to show you 3 levels of color. I'll talk about a 7-8, and I'll talk about what that looks like, okay? But I'm only going to show you what 3 would be. So, for me, I'm going to make this big bar in here, and I'm going to slice it into 3 pretty even sections, okay? Because again, I'm just showing you what a 5-6 would be. And now you got to choose 3 colors. Generally, the 3 colors that are chosen are green, yellow, and red, okay? So I have my green, yellow, and red, and we've kind of talked about this in class, but green would be my lowest elevation. I want to fill that box in completely, and I'm going light. I'm not going heavy or hard on this pencil, because then I can color light everywhere else. If I color dark in here, I have to color it dark on there, because this should match my piece over there, okay? Yellow is that middle elevation, and red is the highest elevation. Okay, if I was doing 5 of these, if I was going to make a map for a 7-8, then I would add in a couple other colors. Okay, so you might add in orange between yellow and red. And what I'd probably do is I'd do like a dark green and a light green. Okay, the darkest green would be at the bottom, and the lightest green would be after that. So that's kind of what I would do if I were doing this. Have my dark green, or this is not a great dark green, but I don't have one in this pencil case with me. You could also add something if you wanted to say the highest elevation at the top was brown, or something like that. You could add in a different color, and that would be totally fine. I don't recommend using blue, because all your water is going to be blue. Okay, so I recommend using something that blue will show up on nicely, and I like using the color lightly. So even if you use a dark or a different shade of green, use the color lightly so that it'll show up nicely. Okay? Alright, so hopefully you're watching this and you were here for at least one day and you got the sheet from us, from me, about that has all your landforms on it, the pink page. Okay, if not, I'll show a little, just a screenshot of the, here, I'll do it right now, right quick. I'll bring it over here. Okay, so these are the different landforms that I'm going to be looking at. So if you want to pause this video, if you don't have the pink sheet, you could pause this video and write them all down, and then I'll talk about them afterwards. Alright, hopefully I gave you time to pause that. Okay, I guess I'll leave this sheet up for a second and I'll zoom all the way out. This is like our direction sheet for the whole project. Okay, I should probably, and I will, link this on Google Classroom so you can kind of access it from there. But if you want to take any screenshots or pause anything, this side is the physical map directions and this is the political map directions. Okay, so you can kind of see all these things on here that it's including. It says make a title, a compass, a key, which we talked about, countries, capitals, cities, which we talked about. Okay, and then other labels, which we're going to kind of get back to that, putting the lakes and rivers on and all that. We'll come back to that. And then color everything and so on and so forth. But over here, we're going to be talking about elevation. So I'm going to move this off the screen. Feel free to pause if you need it. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so here is this physical map that I'm going to make. Alright, I'm looking at my landforms now. So I want to look at the landforms I want to include. Now, I've already included a bunch in my map. Okay, I remember I have a fjord, an archipelago, I have a strait, gulf, peninsula, isthmus, okay, I think, and a bay. So yeah, I have 7 already. Okay, now in order to get a 5-6, here's what the directions say. To get a 5-6, you'll need to have, I want to pull it up. I thought I had it pulled up, but I had the other one pulled up. So give me a second. Here we go. To get a 5-6, it's loading. I need to have 8 to 11 landforms, but 3 or 4 of them have to be in this advanced section. Okay, so here's this list again. We'll look at it real quick. So I need to have 8 to 11 landforms. Now I already have, oh man, of course it doesn't want to work right now. I already have all the ones in bold, which is 7 landforms, but it's telling me on the rubric that I need to have 3 to 4 be from the advanced section. So, why are the directions? Well, they're not open. I want to show you the advanced section and what that means. Okay, so I need to have 3 or 4 from this section. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a few. I don't need to have all of them. If you're going for a 7-8, you need to have 5 from this section. Okay, and 12 or more landforms. So hopefully you included a bunch of those ones, but then you're going to need 5 from this section also. You can easily include things like a delta and reservoir. Those are just with the water. So let's look. I think some of the easiest ones to include would be a mountain range and a valley. Those are pretty easy to include, and a plain. Okay, I'm going to show you how to include most of these. So I'm going to write them all down on my little sticky note right here, because I want to show you how to include most of them. But then you can kind of decide which ones you want to have. So mountain range, canyon, we already have a fjord, mountain peak, valley, plateau, basin, and plain. Okay, so I'm going to go over how to include all of them, but think about it, you only need 3 to 4 of those. I just want to show you what they would look like on the map. Okay, this video is getting to my time limit, so I'm going to pause this video. I'll upload another video. Okay, so this is going to be part 1. Feel free to watch part 2 with how to color your physical map and how to include those landforms. I'll see you in that video.